Well, for those who are not familiar with the financial sector, a few words about Santander. I'm aware I have not much time. I have, as a matter of fact, less than 5 minutes. So I want to share with you 3 basic concepts, 3 basic ideas to retain. Okay? So the first message is Santander is a global bank. I think this is very important to keep in mind. So we are very complex. We are a global bank by every variable you wish to consider. Branch network, market value, net operating income. So first message to retain is we are a very complex organization. Okay? The second message is that efficiency is key. What does it mean? It means that we make explicit in all our presentations to the financial investors, to the financial community, efficiency as a key pillar of our strategy. Okay? So we are very focused on efficiency. This is not the case in other banks throughout the world. We're much more focused on incomes and commercial activity. We have efficiency ingrained in our DNA, and this is very important. And this helps a lot. This is a clear reflection of what I have said. Cost to income is the main indicator in the industry, and it is a clear reflection of efficiency. Santander is about 45% of cost to income, and is considered and is recognized as the most efficient bank in the world. I mean, global banks. We cannot compete with pure domestic banks in terms of cost to income. But when compared with our peers, 45% is a really excellent cost to income ratio. Okay? So first message, we are very complex. Second message, we are very efficient because efficiency is part of our strategy and is explicit in all our presentations and all our messages to the financial community. And a few words about purchasing and how purchasing has helped us to become that efficient, that global efficient bank. Well, the story of purchasing in Santander is the story of an evolution through which we have discovered some things. We have evolved from a very traditional purchasing function in 2004 to a new model that has 2 basic pillars, 2 basic levers. First is what we call cost management and procurement, and second, the integration of the purchasing function in Ariba, which is a fully owned company by Santander. Okay? So what is cost management and procurement? What does it mean? Basically, let me have a pointer. Basically, we understand cost management as a cycle which begins at the budgeting process and ends with payments to suppliers. So it is a cycle with full sense and which has to be managed as a whole cycle. The fact is that we discovered that there are other opportunities to put pressure on costs. Apart from purchasing, purchasing is very important indeed, but there are other opportunities. Where are the other opportunities? Basically, in the budgeting process, and this is what I call intelligent budgeting, we use basically benchmarking in Santander among different units, I mean different banks in the world. We are looking for the best practice, and we tend to transfer those best practices from low efficient banks to high efficient banks. So benchmarking is key, and we use benchmarking intensively in the budgeting stage. And second, a continuous pressure, a continuous challenge on a spend request and investment request. regardless there is sufficient budget to support them. So we do this on a weekly basis in Santander. It is not a purchasing forum, it is a spend and investment forum. And the type of discussion is quite different from that of purchasing. So we put pressure on each spend and investment request, obviously about certain amounts of money, depending on the size of the bank. Okay? But basically, first stage of pressure in the budget process through benchmarking, and a continuous pressure on costs continually throughout the year. And this occurs in forums we have designed specifically to achieve these results. They're basically spend and investment forums. And then the purchasing stage, which is represented by Equanima, which is important, very important. But there are other ways, and that is what we discovered. There are other ways, other manners to put pressure on costs apart from purchasing. And they're very powerful. I assure you that. They're very powerful. And we have discovered that they are very powerful tools when we have faced an acquisition. And you know that Santander has been very active in acquisitions in the last 5 years. So we have used this tool when acquire Abbey National Bank in the UK or Sovereign Bank in the USA with cost-to-income ratios about 60%, when the normal ratio in Europe is about 45–50%, and we have achieved great results, combining the purchasing function with the spend management, the intelligent spend management approach. So, Andres, you can continue with the second pillar, Equanima.